This is Dr. Vaishali and I'm reading from the book Substance of Homeopathy, book written by Dr. Rajan Shankaran. Chapter number 24, The Concept of Miasm, a Summary. Hahnemann postulated a theory of causation to understand, simplify and treat chronic diseases condition more effectively. While a history of suppressed scabies, gonorrhea or syphilis is often not available, diseases do show a pattern that correspond to the above mentioned conditions, enabling us to classify them accordingly. The miasmatic concept treated here is therefore not a theory of causation but a convenient classification of some practical utility. As an extension of the concept of disease as a delusion, a classification of the disease state becomes a classification of delusion. An acute state often has various kinds of pathology, even of chronic expression, and is often recognized. It is included here with the other three basic miasm. Studying the acute psoric, psychotic, syphilitic miasm through an analysis of the most prominent remedy belonging to each miasm make it easier to understand the situation and delusion of that particular miasm. Under acute state, the delusion of this remedy represent an acute threat and reaction is strong and instinctive. For example, stramonium, delusion alone in idleness, desire for light and company, and clinging. Now, psoric state, the delusion shows a difficult situation where he has to struggle in order to succeed. There is anxiety with a doubt about his ability, but he is hopeful and failure does not mean the end of the world. For example, sulfur, delusion getting thin, fear of poverty, ailment from scorn, embarrassment and egotism. He must struggle in order to recover or maintain his position. Psychotic state, a feeling of fixed irremediable weakness within the self and with an attempt to cope with it and hide it from the others, hence cover up with egotism, secrecy and compulsive act, etc. For example, thuja, delusion body is made up of glass, will not be approached or touched. Now, syphilitic state, the delusion is that he is faced with a situation beyond the salvage, leading to complete hopelessness and despair. In a desperate effort, he tries to change the situation and the result is usually destruction. Do or die. For example, Mercurius, surrounded on all sides by the enemies, anarchist and kill desired too. The type of reaction, under label type of reaction, a man is driving on a mountain when suddenly the tire bursts with a loud burst. He is excited and panicky. Get out of the car immediately and without thought. Means it is an instinctive behavior like acute. He studied the damage and tried to repair it, wondering if he can do it. And after struggling a lot, he realized that he is not capable of doing it. And so he accepts the situation and smoke a cigarette while waiting for someone to pick him up. Means it suggests a psychotic state. After 2 days, he realized that no one is going to come and that he is in a desperate, hopeless situation, stuck on a mountain without food. In a drastic measure, he kicked the car down the mountain or give up totally and await death. That is syphilitic response. To cope with this, with the need of life, means the stress, we need a certain capacity depending on our actual state and intensity of the stress. We move between the acute psoric psychotic disposition. Only if we lose all ability to deal with or to accept the situation do we fall into the syphilitic state. Acute means instinctive response, psoric means struggle, psychotic means cover up or internal weakness, and the syphilitic is no recovery possible, change or destroy. Now, acute personality. Acute personality react totally instinctively to stress, which they see as a threat or attack from outside. All miasm have uncompensated state, but acute personality appear to have especially wide mood swing, like change between the compensated and uncompensated state. They are either excited, excitable, hyperactive, or seems to be a completely struck off. Uh, of course, the personality is most compensated. Imagine a uncompensated form of Alzheimer's, tremonium, aconite, etc. But we find neither the fixed idea of the psychosis nor the aggressive self-destruction of the syphilis in this personality. Alzheimer's as an example of an uncompensated acute state, loud, foolish, senseless, excited, insane, delusion of suppose blame and injury, etc. Soric personality. Soric personality is a lack of with a lack of confidence and so constantly have fear and anxieties, especially under the pressure and the stress. Therefore, they suffer from anticipatory anxiety. They are very restless, active, and struggle with their problem. Soric patient present many varied dreams and expressive in the nature, and they can present and describe their complaint very well. You find nervous hyperactive personality, all fears express themselves in a feeling between hope and despair. The despair is not deep seated, hope returns very soon. Soranum is one of the popular example, is a despair of recovery but always with a hope. Fear of poverty means loss or so actual the fear of losing, but this again contain the hope to gain. And anticipatory anxieties, in one word, they are struggling. Now psychotic personality are above all secretive. They want to hide their weakness. Dreams are more fixed and more specific. They developed a fixed habit to cover up their fixed